It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It's Friday, June 15th, 2018.
Hang on. What's up with you, Scooter?
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, I
hit the wrong button. I'm good. Sorry, I'm there.
Didn't get a woohoo on that side. There we go.
Jerry's like all excited this morning.
Well,
he's like, all right, right before, let's all have a good show. Come on. It's like rallying the troops.
Cheerleader here. Hey, take a look at these cinnamon rolls that you're not eating yet, Jerry.
Dude,
look at that. Look at that.
I just now
I went
got
to Brood
back
Awakening.
into
I
my
went over by
size 40 jeans. I don't want to go back.
But that's no excuse.
You're going to have to hold one of them up,
There
Dale.
it is, comparable to a computer. 2 of them will fill up a whole dang computer. They're huge.
There you go. These are available at Brood Awakening, the best coffee in town. I picked them up. Mike was working out on the 62 East location and said, hey, I need about a half a dozen cinnamon rolls. So anyway, there you go. So I bring them in and you guys think, how many calories?
Not me. I ate mine before anybody got here.
It was gone. Jerry, how many calories?
Dude, I just now got back into a size 40. I don't want to go back.
You can start your diet at 8 o'clock.
I could probably use these as a belt.
You unravel.
Just unroll it.
That'd make one heck of a belt buckle, I'll tell you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well.
3 locations for Brood Awakening to serve you: Balmer Boulevard, BRMC Lobby, and of course Highway 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. That's where I picked up the cinnamon rolls yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Yeah, he was busy out there yesterday. 2 or 3 cars in line. I had to wait a minute or so, and hey, what you know? And so they'll send me some cinnamon rolls. So
I'm going to eat one. I'm going to eat half for breakfast and then the other half for my lunch.
well, break it up. Do a third now, third for lunch and third for supper. It'll save you all that money because I bought the rolls.
I know.
You know, and you spread your calories out over the whole day.
That'll work.
There you go.
I'll do
Easy solution.
it. Right.
He's so worried.
Hey, if Dale, hold up your cinnamon roll, if you would, for a minute. I'm going to zoom in on you. And this is for Bob. Bob has not
Bob
seen
Rechtenwald. There you go.
a cinnamon roll. So there you go, Bob. That's the
Bob Rechtenwald needs to come down here and get a cinnamon roll.
They do exist.
They do exist, Bob.
Brood Awakening, the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. We appreciate Mike and his staff for sponsoring the morning show. And they supply the coffee. You know, go down there and say, hey, I told him, I said, I'll probably be back Tuesday or Wednesday to pick up some more because we're doing pretty good on it right now.
And
so.
it's Marine approved, too.
Marine?
We have a Marine in the house drinking it.
You betcha. Well, there's, no strong coffee, just weak men. If they can't handle my coffee, you better join the Marine.
Right.
I'm not saying anything. I've already lost this battle.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. We had Brad Hayes on last week sometime, and I still think about that interview and the professionalism that he exemplified in the job that he does. And
To me, it's the passion.
it's the passion. Yeah, and you
He
have
really
to
has
be
a
called,
heart.
I don't know if this is a spiritual calling or what it is, but to do what he does and to be so upbeat and so professional, I'm very impressed. And, that exemplifies Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
With all their respect, Roller Funeral Homes, when the need arises, choose Roller Funeral Homes. And now let's pause for the morning prayer. Heavenly Father, it's funny how people yell separation of church and state, not wanting the 10 Commandments posted on government property. The interesting point is that most of the 10 Commandments are our laws today. So let's pick one. Thou shalt not kill. We're shocked when a massive murder takes place, then ask for prayers and God's help after the crime. But the whole point behind the 10 Commandments is to avoid the criminal act. The problem is us, not the guns and not religion. The problem is we don't obey your laws and our own laws. So my prayer today, Lord, is that you heal our land. And it's a very simple prayer. Amen.
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 Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. And
now,
it's Father's Day weekend at Greg's Farm Services. I need to come up here and put this online or on the screen here real quick. On the farm, around the home, in the community, Gregg Farm Services. You can check out their website, greggsfarmservices.com. They're in Mountain Home in Midway, Arkansas. And we'll check out their store specials and announcements. They still have a big red and white sign, Help Wanted, customer service sales position at the feed store. So head on out to Midway and say, I want that job. I guarantee it's going to be a great place to work. Gregg's Wildlife Expo comes up on Saturday, August 11th at the Baxter County Fairgrounds, featuring Johnny Morris's Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium. You can click on the box for more details there if you want to get some vendor spots there. You click right there and can register. Don't forget gifts for Dad under $10. True utility for your pocket. These are apparently pocket knives and things there. And then if you find something, well, it's for my dad. Okay, 10% off there. What else we got here?
Caleb, if you're listening, there's that dang cart your dad wants so bad.
Yeah, it's right there. Garden cart, $79.99. Regular, you save $20. Yeah. 3-pack, 7 dust, $10.99. A Flex-Rite garden hose, 50 foot. Now I could use the garden hose for $20. A good price there. And let's see, fish day is coming up. That's over. I don't need to mention that. That's over. It looks like that was yesterday, Wednesday. Anyway, Gregg's Farm Services, on the farm, around the home, in the community. Gregg's Farm Services. They bring the morning weather each and every day, and we are at, it sure don't feel like it, 69?
About right.
Reckon?
Yeah, it's nice out there, but I wouldn't have thought 69. I'll take it.
Yeah, you bet.
I'm happy.
Beats 99. 69 in Mountain Home. Harrison checks in at 70, at 72 at Hardy, 70 at Mountain View, in Yellville and Marshall. Calico Rock at 69, St. Louis at 70, 72 at Poplar Bluff and Branson, 73 at West Plains. Whew, Watford City, 48.
Starting to cool down. It's 48.
48. Winter's coming.
Yeah.
They were hoping for a little longer summer than that, but you get what you get.
2 weeks of summer.
I'm going to click on this right here. Speaking of the northern part of the country, wind outlook for Friday, Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, Duluth, up north, up near the Canadian border.
That's for today?
That's for today. Yeah, wind outlook.
Baseball games aren't going to be played.
Well, I think Minneapolis has a dome.
They'll be all right then.
And they'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem there. On the radar, you can see some of the shower activity in the northern part of the country. It's kind of an odd shape. It comes out of the northern part of Minnesota, and it's just kind of a stripe down through the middle of Wisconsin, comes halfway through Illinois. Let's take a look. That's kind of odd. Let's take a look at Wisconsin.
That's a squall line.
Well, it is, ain't it? Looky there, just a straight north-south line between, well, this goes all the way into down around...
Would that not be considered a swath, Jerry?
A swath. There you go, swath.
It could be a swath.
There.
Comes into northern Illinois. They look like they got a little flood watch box there. It comes on up in the middle part of Wisconsin. And looks like it could be heading over to Chicago. We've got some other shower activity along the Indiana-Illinois state line. You can see all of that right there, just to the west of Terre Haute.
Drizzle.
Yeah, that's not even part of the swath.
No, yeah, that's kind of a breakaway. Scattered showers, though, throughout Illinois and Indiana, and you can see them there along I-64 there at Mount Vernon, I-70 at Vandalia. Back to the national scene here of most of Missouri and Arkansas is dry. We'll check those highways in Arkansas for you. I'm going to hit that Little Rock stop there, Scooter. State of Arkansas, they've got the intensity cranked up really, really high. That blue stuff is basically humidity. I'm going to say all the highways are clear at this time, 62, 412 east and west, across the northern part of the state. Highway 65, Little Rock, Branson in good shape. 167 to Batesville out of Little Rock looks good. Highway 67, Little Rock, Poplar Bluff is in good shape as well. 30, 40, 49, 55 on your interstates, along with Interstate 555. I got to get used to that one, from Jonesboro down to where it picks up 55 and 40 down there.
I'm going to help. All roads in Arkansas look dry.
There you go. He does it the hard way.
He's trying to be so professional, and we're messing it up, Jerry. Come on.
Okay.
I'm trying to fill 3 more minutes before the commercial break.
You know, they have a road map of Arkansas. You just
They what? Really?
Map.
When did that come out?
Been out since the computer, I guess.
When's the last time you looked at a real road map?
I have one hanging in my house,
Yeah.
actually. 1905 out of Missouri.
Oh, you got a 1905 map?
Got dirt roads everywhere.
That'd be
gravel.
interesting. I've got a few of my grandfather's old road maps. You know, used to go to pull into the gas station. You got any road maps? Of course, we knew Missouri and Illinois and Arkansas like the back of our hand. And I was showing, this quite a while back, when I unfolded the map, and I think it was my boys. I said, look at that map. You see anything odd? Well, no. Where's the interstate highways?
Yeah, they weren't there.
They weren't there.
What's one of the biggest rally map company,
Rand McNally.
Or Rand McNally or whatever. Don't you know when they came out with all these maps on your phones and GPSs, that really killed their business?
Not really, because Rand McNally picked up a lot of that to get it done on the computer. Because I can go to Rand McNally on the computer. Before all the Google stuff, I'd go to randmcnally.com.
But truck drivers, they had them big laminated atlases, and now they just GPS it. So I see what you're saying.
Somebody's had to lose some money.
Yeah.
State of Missouri, I-44, Rolla, Lebanon, St. Louis looks good. I-70 from Columbia to St. Louis. And then, of course, you got the shower activity going on in Illinois. And so, there it is. Greg Farm Services brings you morning weather each and every day. And you want the forecast, don't you?
I was about to say, and he doesn't care about the forecast.
Look at that heat advisory for most of Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri, northern Missouri. Red flag warning in the St. Louis area. Ooh.
What's going on in Alaska there? It's purple.
Well, let's take a look at Alaska.
Oh, gosh.
It is a storm. That's for Juneau.
That's interesting.
Yeah, not bad.
Huh.
I'm going to guess that's going to be hot and muggy and humid.
Yeah.
I think 101 heat index is what I heard today.
Yeah.
Which that feels good to me. I like it. As long as
I don't mind the heat. Just get some of that humidity out of here.
Yeah.
You know.
As long as you bounce from the sunlight to the shade, you're cool. If it's
High
all
today,
sunlight,
95 with lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, high of 92, lots of sunshine. Sunday, slight chance of showers with the high of 91. Monday, a high of 89. We got a cold front coming in right there. It's only going to be 89 degrees. 87 on Tuesday. Wow.
There was a cold front came through yesterday. Did y'all feel that?
Mm-mm.
About 5 o'clock after that. Boy, I sat on my front
That wasn't
porch.
a cold front. What happened? Did you see what happened about 5 o'clock? Up around West Plains, Missouri, between West Plains there and Alton, Missouri, they had one of those storms that just kind of mushroomed. I was looking at the KY3 app, and I was seeing, because I could see the clouds, and as it progressed, it crossed the state line, and by 5:30, by about 5:10, 5:15, I was watching Channel 3 News, and they had issued a tornado warning for Fulton and Sharp counties between Salem and Ash Flat because that thing just blossomed. And we were getting the wind off of that.
Do you know that air can rise 10,000 feet
And go
in
higher
a
than that?
minute?
Yeah.
In 1 minute,
Yeah.
10,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big old suction straw.
And I was
That'd be a fun ride.
I was on Highway 5 over by Eastside Baptist Church, heading east, and you could just see the magnitude of that storm. It just blossomed.
And it was cool, too.
And
it felt nice.
Well, yeah, I was looking out the back door. I thought, ooh, we're getting the wind off that storm. Yeah, it was pretty good size. Anyway, community calendar, Jerry. What you got?
Brought to you by, is it affordable housing?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're having trouble with your rent, where you live and all that, give affordable housing a call.
There's the phone number right there for everybody.
870-741-2883, affordable housing.
All right, this week we're going to wrap up the bead tying event in Jakarta, Indonesia. So get out there. That'll be this Saturday and Sunday.
How's that been going? I mean, they've been...
My infield reporter's supposed to get back to me on that. The only problem is I don't speak Indonesian, so we're looking for an interpreter.
We're lucky to get proper English.
English or English?
English.
All right, here we go. June 16th at the Alley White American Legion Post 52, 9 a.m. They are going to have coffee and donuts. And then June 15th, that's today.
Very good.
The Twin Lakes Retired Police Scholarship will be meeting today at 12 p.m. at the Elks Lodge and Mountain Home. June 17th, Father's Day, Sunday 10 a.m. The First United Methodist Church will have their happy campers there. And are you familiar with these happy campers?
I've heard about it, but I don't know much about them. Why? What you
A
got?
bunch of retired people rolling around the country in these little campers.
Fun.
And just living the life, man.
Wow, that'd be fun.
Yeah. And then tonight, 7 p.m. is the Mountain Home Friday night block party. If I'm not mistaken, the band Rio will be playing tonight.
Yep.
And fellas, that's it.
I've got one I need to shout out to a friend of mine in West Plains that they've got the production of Shrek coming up, musical, and it'll be starting on June 22nd. I will get more information and be able to post more as it goes on, but I promised them that I would make a mention.
That's good.
Donkey!
And it's game on at First Baptist Church Flippin' Vacation Bible School. Starts Monday, June 18th through Friday the 22nd. It's every morning starting at 8:30 a.m. till noon daily. Children age 4 must be age 4 by August 1st of 2018 and completed 6th grade. You can go to Facebook, go to First Baptist Church. Can we throw that up there? First Baptist Church Flippin'. If you go to Facebook, go First Baptist Church Flippin', Arkansas. Parents, to register your children, you click right here. You see the little cursor down here. If you want to volunteer, click there. So VBS was always a lot of fun when I was a kid. We had a blast.
Cool.
Fun. All right.
Cool.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit of veterans business today. Dan and Charlie here. So, Scooter, take us to break. We'll get reset and have the guys come on the set.
Be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
You already know that Ferris mowers are the only mowers on the market with a patented spring suspension system, saving you time in the seat, less back stress, and a professional even cut every time. You already know that Mower Warehouse is the only area dealership that will accept your mower trade-in. But did you know that a truckload of discounted 2017 models just arrived at Mower Warehouse, allowing you the pleasure of saving hundreds of dollars on your next mower purchase of a new Ferris or Simplicity zero-turn machine? Come check out the parking lot sale at Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
Do you ever feel like your butt's dragging and you could really use a lift? Ozark Diesel Off-Road. Ozark Diesel Off-Road has been installing lifts for over 25 years. They specialize in all your off-road vehicle needs, from general repairs such as engine diagnostics, clutch and brake repair, to custom fabrication like axle gears and lockers, leveling and suspension kits, and everything in between. So if your vehicle could really use a lift, head to Ozark Diesel Off-Road, located at 5051 Highway 62 East, or give them a call at 870-425-LIFT.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
It is 7:19, almost 7:20. Dan Hall and Charlie Leonard here. And so, guys, welcome. It's always good to have you on the show.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Missed last month, and of course the month before that we were talking about the problems with getting the updated law passed on the veterans care. 2 years, 3 years in a row I was back in D.C. for the midwinter legislative conferences, and the same issues. Support for caregivers that take care of 100% disabled veterans in the home, women's issues, improving the choice program, and so on. And 3 years in a row, every time we made a presentation at the committees, we got a standing ovation and 100% support, and then nothing happened.
Yep.
Same thing happened this year. We were sure that these things were going to be funded. That was in February. In March, they passed the omnibus spending bill. Not one of those things was funded. I got a little bit depressed, and just before our state convention this month, I had done my legislative report. And then 2 days before the convention, the Senate finally passed the VA Mission Act of 2018, and all of those things were funded in that bill. And President Trump signed that on June 5th. And that included the issues for a stipend to assist family members that take care of a veteran in the home, and included the expanded choice program and several other things. Of course, I wouldn't get too excited yet. Being this is a bureaucracy, I figure it'll take 2 years before this really gets implemented, because the VA/private provider partnerships is still going to be controlled by VA, and you're not going to be able to just tomorrow walk into some doctor's office with your VA card and expect to get taken care of. They're going to have their contracts and all the administrative things that they do before that becomes effective.
Okay, I got to stop you right. Why do we make things so difficult?
It's the government. That's what they do. I do have to tell you that our two senators, Bozeman and Cotton, really did support us on that, and had a lot to do with finally pushing through the final bill at the Senate.
But you said, you've been working on this for what, 2 years or longer?
Three.
3 years?
Yeah. And there are issues that keep coming up, and I wanted to ask Charles this. I didn't get a chance to call you yesterday. I had written a thing here back 2 years ago having to do with expanding the Veterans Choice Program and creating these VA/private provider partnerships. Baxter Regional Director Peterson was on board and wanted to be involved in this. That's finally going to be part of this. And part of the impetus for that was we were talking about a person, for example, that needed kidney dialysis. Well, that was a 4 or 5 day series of treatments. And they had to ride the DAV van to Little Rock all week long for this treatment.
Every day, back and forth?
Every day. And so we have a renal clinic right here in Mountain Home that we could use. And that was part of what we were talking about. And it just happens, yesterday I got a call from a lady who's moving here from up in Missouri. And she wanted to know her husband needed dialysis, and could they get it locally? And I wanted to ask you, how do they go about that now? What's the time period when they apply over the choice program to be able to get local treatment? But my recommendation to her was, if you already have this appointment up in Springfield, don't try to change now.
Yeah,
keep it right now.
Because they'll have to go through the VA clinic. We'll have to transfer their benefit down to Little Rock if they're moving down here.
Right, and it's actually closer to go to Springfield.
Right.
Mm-hmm. A lot easier to drive, too.
Yeah. So
and then, that there's a waiting period there, and then now you're within 40 miles, so that 30-day period kicks in.
Okay.
So it could be the same thing, the DAV van right down there again. So that would be best if she
I think at some point what's going to happen with these things is clinics like that renal clinic will be contracted, and you'll be able to do this a little quicker. But right now, my recommendation was, if you have something in place now.
Is that the one over by Harold's Auto Parts?
Yeah.
The old post office?
Yeah.
And that's so convenient, and then people have to go to Little Rock?
You imagine your whole life becomes you and your family for a week about getting that treatment. You're back and forth to Little Rock. There's been a lot of things happen this year. we were able to stave off some problems. The individual unemployability compensation was one they were going to try to take away from people who were senior citizens anyway, and we kind of fought that back. So there's been several issues: the changing of the appeals process, the modernization of that program. Veterans are now getting these invitations to be involved in the RAMP program, which is the new program of how your appeals are going to work. And at first we looked at this and thought, had this appeal going for 4 years, why would I want to end that and start all over again? But it looks like it's going to be quite an efficient program. Did you have something on that RAMP program?
We touched base on that RAMP here, I think a couple of months ago, where there's 3 different avenues. You can leave it the way it is. There's a lane where you have additional evidence that you can submit, and then there's another lane that you have no additional evidence to submit. And that basically, at that point in time, it's like a 120-day turnaround. So these guys that have been waiting, 6-7 years, will have a 120-day turnaround.
Yeah.
And you can have your...
What if, I'll pick on Dan here, as a Marine, what if you dilly-dallied around with an order from your general or from your commander as much as the government dilly-dallies around with the benefits that you guys earned?
There's so many things involved with that, and I was 2 years ago at a meeting over in Fayetteville, and our district director of the benefits side did a presentation on this Modernization Act. And after the presentation, I spoke to her and said, it almost seems like you resent the appeals process.
Well, you just said somebody's waiting 4 years.
Yeah, and you're supposed to be a resource for veterans, and so a couple of things they were trying to do that I really objected to was, one was to have, at some point they kept saying there has to be a final date, it's over, you've had your appeal. Well, what about new evidence? And this was the issue that I kept pushing, because being a Vietnam veteran, it took them 40 years before they finally admitted that Agent Orange ever caused any problems. Meanwhile, people's final date had long since gone, and they had to go to court to be able to get back into the system. And I want to make sure that didn't happen.
Okay, I've got a quick question. When you get your honorable or your medical discharge, whatever discharge, and it says Dan Hall and whatever time you got out, in a computer database. So you're in Mountain Home, Arkansas, and you go to Denver, Colorado for vacation, and you stub your toe. I broke my toe. I'm a veteran. I need to go to the VA. Why can't they just type, and pull that up across the country and know that you're a veteran and you got veterans benefits all across this country?
Boy, I don't know. it's a little more
Because
complicated. And part of the problem is, and we've talked about this before, VA is actually a couple different bureaucracies within each other. In Arkansas, for example, we have pretty darn good the healthcare side.
Yeah.
Dr. Scott down there, there's the director of the Central Arkansas Veterans Healthcare System. I just love this woman. She's a real resource and really involved in helping veterans. But to get to that, you have to go through the benefit side, and that's the problem when you start applying for to get the service-connected disability.
But if you've got the DD-214,
well, then they have to look at medical records, and half the time they're not correct. It's quite a process.
And they look at your income.
But
we've got veterans who go over the threshold that are not eligible. They're 8G status, so they're not eligible for VA healthcare.
Yeah, just being a veteran doesn't make you eligible for veterans healthcare. Service-connected disability does.
Correct.
Depending on your percentage and so on. If you're not service-connected disability and you just need medical services, then you have to be below a certain income threshold before you qualify. A few years back they had another, I think it was level 9, where you didn't have to show any income, you just agreed to pay a small copay and you could be involved in the system. But once they got all these clinics operating and they were at capacity, I think they stopped that level 9.
Yeah, I haven't heard of the level 9, but I know that you could have a 0% or even just a 10% disability, and that gets you in the door of the VA healthcare system, and then they'll treat you for that disability, and then you have to pay a small copay for any other services that you may need. So
we have a bill right now. I'm hoping that we can get through this year. It's HR 5467, which would allow service-connected disability and caregivers that are taking care of veterans to use commissary. If they live near a base, they could be able to shop on base and use the commissary privileges.
HR, is that a House resolution?
Yeah, at this point. It's been
HB
introduced.
Would be a House bill, HR would be a House resolution. So has that been all through the committees?
It's in the committees now.
Yeah.
November of 2017, the Secretary of the Department of Defense granted online access to some of these retail facilities for honorably discharged veterans that are 100% disabled. And now they're trying to include Purple Heart veterans and any service-connected disability, and also those family members that are taking care of veterans in the home. That's what I'm hoping we can get through.
Yeah, right now it's 100% they can get their ID card and go on bases. And then if you are a veteran, you can go on like AFES.com and you can shop online through AFES. But you can't go on base and go shopping. So
let's take a quick break. 7:31. Got a few fine sponsors here, don't we, Scooter?
You bet.
Be right back.
Be right back.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas is your home for national and international award-winning pizza. Nemus Pizza offers artisan-made award-winning pizza with only the freshest and finest of ingredients. Each pizza is made from scratch and hand-tossed at the time you place your order. And also check out their calzone strombolis, an oven-baked folded pizza stuffed with your choice of meat. Sauce can be on the side or included inside at your request. Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas, your home for award-winning pizza. With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name-brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support, and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home.
Hi.
It's 7:34 on this Friday, visiting with Dan Hall, DAV, and Charles Leonard, Baxter County Service Officer. And what else you got for us, gentlemen?
Well, are we getting our letters of disability?
Well, some people are, some people aren't. There's a benefit letter that a veteran gets, or the widow or widower of the veteran, and it's kind of a hit or miss this year for some reason, and last year. But what it does is those that are 100% disabled, total and permanent, they get tax relief, and they need that letter every year to present down to the collector's office so they don't have to pay their taxes. And if they do not get that benefit letter, then they need to come over and see me. And I've had a
Do
few
you have
already.
to get the letter every year, so it has to
Every
have
year.
that calendar
They have-
year issued on the letter?
Yeah, it's usually around January, February, and it's got to have that calendar year.
The
So-
magic word, usually.
Usually. And the thing about
I'm
that
getting
is
used to this government stuff.
there's a hotline I can call to get the letter faxed to me, but I have to be the POA on file for the veteran or their dependent to be able to pull that letter down. If I'm not, then they ask them a bunch of questions from the past that a lot of these elderly people don't remember certain dates and things like that. So then they can't verify it, so then we have to start the process all over again the next day. So if you did not receive your benefit letter, please come in and let's get that squared away, because I know that that's coming up in October, and that's seems far away, but it'll be here before we know it.
3 blinks of the eye, and it'll be October.
Oh, it will be, And I guess one of the things I don't understand in regard to the law here in Arkansas is if I've got a widow that's receiving dependent indemnity compensation that's in her 80s that will continue to receive this, why does she continually need a letter every year? I just don't understand that. You would think after a certain age it would be one.
Maybe
and
they're
done.
afraid she hit the lottery and became a multimillionaire. I don't know.
Well, and that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant. I mean, she could be a millionaire now and still get that tax benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. Back on that ramp thing that we were talking about, the Modernization Act, the Appeals Modernization Act, the target implementation date of that is February 14th of 2019. That
So it's
ramp
coming up.
procedures. It's coming up, and
8
you know
months.
they've signed more than 53,000 decisions since May 27th. So that's 86%
positive?
more.
Affirmative?
86% more than the same period last year. So it is working. It's just sad that it's taken this long to figure out a streamlined process. I mean, they want to have a historic 81,000 appeals done by September 30th. So, and I'm part of that too. I got my letter the other day in the mail.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been waiting
I got mine about 3 months ago, and at first they thought, I don't know about this, and then there was some training, and we had a meeting in Little Rock. VA sent their director of the benefits thing from D.C. Well, you were at that,
Yes,
weren't you?
I was.
And it was quite informative. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good program, going to speed things up. Last year, I was in D.C. for the Midwinter Legislative Conferences, and at a conference there in the Senator Bozeman's office, this issue of the appeals and needing additional help and all that came up, and I asked our national service officer, I said, what percentage of those appeals that DAV submits for veterans come back in favor of the veteran? And it was phenomenal. It was like 3/4 of them, and I said, well, does that tell you anything, Senator Bozeman? What it tells me is if they did the thing right the first time, it wouldn't have to be on appeal. And if 75% of them are coming back in favor of the veteran, something's wrong in the initial process.
What John say?
They agreed, and I think to some degree we're getting past that original rater problem now. I think there's a whole lot higher percentage of those that are going through this, what do you say, 86,000 or something of them?
Yeah.
That, and
86.
a pretty good percentage of them, higher percentage than before, are coming back in favor of the veteran. So at some point, we really need to address the initial rating process, not just the appeals process.
And my point on this, or my viewpoint on this would be, of all the veterans that I've known and met, most of these people are hard-working, well-grounded American people. They would only want the benefits if they needed them. So in other words, what I'm saying is guys like you that can go out and run a backhoe or a bush hog a field or something like that, wouldn't the veteran, within himself, want to work as long as he could rather than getting benefits unless they were absolutely necessary? If he said, I can't do this because I'm missing both legs, then you sit here and have to wait for 4 years. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most of the veterans that I know would rather work and support themselves than have to depend on some of the benefits. But when the need arises, it just seems like we're waiting forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, and they're eligible for that benefit if they're have a disabled service-connected disability. Whether or not they work, they're eligible for that. But as you say, a lot of veterans say, well, I don't need it right now, and so they never did apply for any kind of assistance at all. With all the veterans that we have in this 3rd district from Harrison to Batesville.
What's that population?
There's, I think, 26,000 veterans in that district. And we only have about 3,500 of them that use the local clinic here, the CBOC.
Around 10%?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah, roughly. So most veterans actually in the community aren't even involved in the VA healthcare system. They don't have a service-connected disability. They're not retired. They just did their 4 years or whatever. They should be eligible for consideration in state employment and so on. There's a lot of benefits they are eligible for they don't even know about. That's part of what Charles does and what Alicia does over at colleges. You know, if you need career change or you need assistance with employment or whatever, your honorable discharge should help you in that regard.
Sure.
Educational benefits, career changes, and so on. So there's a lot more to veterans benefits than just the healthcare side.
Well, look at the training that they get right now going in. I mean, you choose your branch of military to go in, you get a fine education and training.
You do, and you know,
in all branches.
The medical documentation too, going back to the compensation part of it, it's changed a lot too over the years to where I think they keep probably better records now than what they did back when Dan was in, and some of these Korean War veterans where they just throw an aspirin at you and take it back to work.
Yeah, they used to have a hearing test where you turned away and then the doctor would ask you questions. that was your hearing test.
Smack a pot and a pan together. Whack.
Can you hear me now?
Technology.
They actually use audiograms now.
But is there still programs out there, you know, you used to see a lot of TV commercials, hire the vet.
Yes.
I mean, you think about it, there's some extensive training. You know, wartime nowadays is not a Tommy gun and a grenade in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Remember the Tommy guns that they used to, when we were kids, oh, look at this Tommy gun, like this. That was the toy to have, you know.
Yeah. Well, the whole veterans experience or military experience creates the character and discipline that is of value in any career that they go into. And this is part of the thing of selling veterans to the community.
I think the best display of a veteran's self-discipline, we were on the Veterans Memorial Mall here in Mountain Home, and it was a very windy day. I don't know, it may have been Veterans Day, but we had some wind, and the flag fell over, and a veteran went up there and put it back in the stand, went back to his chair, and it blew over again. So he stood there, basically at attention for that whole program, with his hand holding that flag in that stand. And I don't know that his eyes ever blinked, but I'll never forget that.
We had a similar experience here on Memorial Day on the square when the public address system didn't work, and Charles was actually he was the keynote speaker, and the thing kept cutting in and out, and he just continued to march. Didn't let it get him down.
No.
What else we got on the
well, the VA Veterans Crisis Line.
Ooh, what's that? I've not heard of that one.
The crisis line?
Yeah, VA Veterans Crisis Line.
If a VA's veteran, is feeling suicidal, they can call this crisis line and hit option 1. And they have actually brought up another 3rd call center in Topeka, Kansas.
Really?
Yeah, they have one in California and another one in New York and another one in Georgia. And the Veteran Crisis Line is there for a veteran in need. If he's experienced some flashbacks, PTSD, suicidal thoughts, it's a really good source. It's a good number to have. And a lot of the numbers on the back of the VA ID card, your health card, but I also have cards to hand out in my office.
One of the things we did on that a few years ago is those of us who've been involved with the suicide prevention networks and so on usually have that number available. We did a proposal to all the VA and veteran service organizations that issue any kind of a card to put that number on that card. So
Good.
the veteran who may need it will have it rather than having to call Charles or somebody else. And that's that 1-877-222-VETS. It's 8387.
22 a day. That's what we lose.
It's a lot.
To suicide.
22 a day.
Veterans.
Across the country or statewide?
Across the country.
Across the country.
Now, Baxter County in Arkansas has one of the highest suicide rates.
I know. We have to take a break after that one. 7:45. Scooter, we'll be right back.
Right back.
22 a day.
Hi, I'm Ricky with Arch Trash Pickup. If anybody needs trash service in the area, please give us a call. Arch Trash Service is veteran owned, and I've been in the local area resident for over 20 years. I'll provide a better service than the other guys and even provide front door service trash pickup for those that aren't able to take their trash to the curb. We'll also pick up almost anything and even provide free recycling. I am Ricky with Arch Trash Pickup, and please give me a call for all your trash service needs.
Why would I recommend Hospice the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care in Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
$7:48. We're going to wrap it up for the week. And Dan Hall, Charles Leonard are here talking Veterans Affairs. What else we got, guys?
Well, DAV National gets its authority to lobby on behalf of veterans based from the grassroots people. We did this year out of our convention in Little Rock 6 resolutions that went up to national of issues that they'll be taking up, including one of the issues that we continue to fight. A veteran who's in the healthcare system who needs emergency care and goes to a non-VA facility, heart attack or whatever. VA had a long-standing policy that they don't pay secondary claims. And so if this person had any kind of insurance at all or Medicare and the hospital billed them, then when they billed VA, they'd say, that's a secondary claim. So the veteran was stuck with that 20% bill, and then eventually the hospital or provider begins to dun the veteran for that payment and affect his credit. Well, in April of 2016, there was a United States Court of Appeals ruling that said the VA was completely bogus in that a regulation could not stand. It did not comport to the intent of the Congressional Act. The veteran's not supposed to be out of pocket for 1 penny on those emergency care things. Well, following July, the Secretary decided he wouldn't appeal that decision. They would begin to pay these claims. what they did, instead of paying all the back claims, they went back and changed their regulation effective the date of the court appeal, April 8th of 2016, and said, okay, we'll pay everything forward from there. I said, well, what about the guys from 2010 and 2012 that still have these things? So we produced a resolution to address that, whether we have to go back to court or whatever. The DAV is going to handle that.
And how long is that going to take?
Who knows? But my recommendation is, if you have one of those claims, don't let it die. Just keep appealing, keep filing your notice of disagreement, keep an appeal going, provide whatever evidence you can in support of it. Another issue that came up that we addressed locally, those retirees who are in the campus program or what have you, and TRICARE, all of a sudden started to get billed copay on generic drugs. They never did before.
Right.
If it was the only time they paid a copay, if it was on a brand name, what they call the ones that the insurance companies don't pay, then they had to pay a small copay. All of a sudden now veterans are getting billed for these copays on drugs, and we have some older veterans that are on several different drugs, and it amounts to a couple $100s a month.
Yeah.
On a fixed income. So they're having to sit there and decide, self-diagnose as to which of these drugs I can do without.
Yeah.
Now you can see the problem with that real quick, can't you?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Those that I think I need more than the other one, where a medical provider is not making those decisions. So we produced another resolution to take up that issue and try to get that whole thing rescinded. That's kind of what we continue to do. As like I said, the DAV National has no authority to lobby on a particular issue unless they have a resolution on file that's been adopted that is an issue we will support. And we sent 6 of them in this year, those kind of resolutions.
So they went back and changed the date effective when the Court of Appeals ruled on that issue.
Yeah. They changed their regulation, but if the regulation was bogus and the court said it was bogus, then it was bogus before that, and it should be,
So how much money did they try to save? How many millions of dollars?
We know oftentimes they get into these things, and I had that discussion with Congressman Steve Womack, who's one of the appropriators, and this issue on the caregivers thing came up. And it has to do with money. I said, no, it really doesn't, because every time a caregiver takes care of a veteran in the home, instead of him going to a nursing home, you save about $7,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And so it's really not that big of an issue. And when you can pass an omnibus spending bill that's going to give $500 million to Planned Parenthood to kill unborn children, I think you ought to be able to take some of that and help veterans.
Sure.
This is nonsense.
Take all of it and help veterans.
So it's an ongoing issue, and it always comes down to money.
Between you two gentlemen here, is your daily routine an uphill battle?
It is.
I mean, no pun intended for.
It is. It's a lot of paperwork too.
Well, it is, and I get calls like the lady that called me yesterday that's moving here, and I wish I had a magic answer for her as far as this dialysis. I really don't. In all honesty, my recommendation had to be, if you have a method right now to get this done, stay with that, and then try to see your county veteran service officer or your local CBOC.
And this is one moving from Missouri.
Yeah, from the other end, have them work at transferring it to help you, rather than give that up and then be sitting here and don't have the coverage.
If it was me, you know what I do? If I'm going to move from Missouri to Arkansas, I'd go to Gainesville, get me a P.O. box, and not tell anybody anything, just go to Springfield. Wouldn't it be easier?
You would think. There is an emergent need for these veterans, and the sad part is the VA decides what the emergent need is. So an elderly man going down to get dialysis every day in Little Rock apparently is not emergent enough to where they could get dialysis.
That's also one of the issues with the emergency care. What is an emergency? You might think it's an emergency, and then they decide, well, actually, you could have come down, to the Veterans Hospital in Little Rock. It wasn't like a
How many of these guys make that drive from Mountain Home to Little Rock, though, when they're telling,
Right.
That's such a fun drive.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? Things are improving. Since Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs created the district offices out here, and of course, Alicia Grannis, our third district, and then Charles, and they're getting a whole lot more training, and Alicia is conducting quarterly training. I sent 4 of our DAV chapter members to certified veteran service officer training. Not that we want them doing the paperwork, but when a veteran comes to them, they can tell them ahead of time, you're going to need to go see Charles, but this is what you need.
Right.
And it
helps.
It helps him and be more efficient rather than them come in and see him and they don't have half of what they needed.
Right. 'Cause I'm averaging about 50 a week right now.
It's a big improvement in the last couple of years, and it'll only get better. But just because we passed that expanded Veterans Choice Program, you can't expect it to be solved tomorrow. These things are going to take some time. I estimate 2 years before the VA comes up with how are we going to contract and what kind of inspections are going to be required for this, because they're interested in quality of care. And you're not going to be able to just take your VA card and go anywhere you want. They're going to have to be pre-approved. So it'll take some time.
Yeah, well, yeah, traffic's been picking up. I mean, 50 walking in through the door a week that's plenty for one person.
10 a day.
And like I said, money things, it gets kind of interesting. Secretary McDonald and Shulkin both had, for a couple of years, tried to get rid of some unused VA properties that are on the rolls, that they're paying to maintain, they don't use for anything. And it literally took an act of Congress to be able to put them on the market and sell them and take that money and put it over here to improve facilities we are using. The bureaucracy involved in these things that a normal business person would do kind of overnight.
So we're
and
liking
you can see
some
why
common
somebody like
sense is what we're
President Trump
beating
is
around
going
bush,
crazy
right?
with the swamp. It's like things that a businessman say, we're going to get rid of that and put it over here. You don't do that in government.
Are you guys' offices just full of unused red tape?
pretty much.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. About what, 3 minutes there, Scooter?
Yeah.
3 minutes, gentlemen. I appreciate y'all being here. The sarcastic comments, I've known you guys for a while, and just to hear what you put up with. We had a guy back when we were doing the radio work for 5 years to get a powered wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
In the place he was from Dolph, Arkansas. And they said, well, we only got 25 in stock. And it took 5 years. 5 years. He filed all the papers. I don't know. He just went through this thing. It was unreal.
Well, we just keep fighting. Like we were talking about the problem with the appeals process and the original raters. One of the issues is they don't quite understand a precedent process. Precedent, if you've had this set of facts and the VBA has ruled in favor of the veteran on these things 27 times in the last 3 years, you probably ought to look at that before you make your decision. and if you have the same set of facts, this ain't rocket science. But we're working on those issues all the time. We did end up, and I was really pleased when David, who was the director of the benefits side from D.C. that came to give us the presentation on the ramp, they were a little disappointed they did not get their way as far as having the final appeal and you're done now, you can't, your time has run out. They lost that because people like Bozeman and Cotton that we'd been in contact with, when it came down to the Congressional Act, they ensured that the veteran never loses that right to continue appeal if there's new evidence. And new evidence can come up at any time. And they've changed it from material to relevant evidence, which is a legal battle also. There's also, we had a presentation regarding pro bono assistance with these claims. There's an outfit out of D.C. that will work for a veteran all the way up to the Supreme Court. Now, they won't become your power of attorney in your initial claim process, but once you're through the appeal, if you get hung up there, then you can call that number and get assistance with the appeal process. If you have issues along those lines, then you call your county veteran service officer, Charles, here, because he's got all that information. I don't have it at my fingertips. What is your number, Charles?
It's 425-8155, and I'm there Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4:30, Friday by appointment only.
General information regarding veterans issues, you can always reach me, Dan Hall, at 421-2322. I'm the local commander of the Disabled American Veterans Chapter and the legislative officer for the state DAV. We have our monthly meeting at the police department. It's coming up Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're interested in coming by a DAV meeting, Monday afternoon.
Got to run. See you Monday. Great weekend, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy fun.